Hey guys, Sky here, and this is a 1971 Lamborghini Miura P400 SV from Mattel Hot Wheels. Lamborghini produced the Miura for 7 years, starting from 1966 all the way to 1973. It is an icon in the automotive history, seeing as it was the first production car to feature a mid-engined, rear-wheel drive setup, a setup which is widely adopted by supercars and hypercars till this very day. The P400 SV trim, launched in 1971, remained the most popular trim in the 7-year lineup, with a total of 150 units produced and sold to the public. The iconic silhouette with its awe-inspiring curves are designed and styled by Bertone, creating a supercar that still turns heads till this very day. Moving on to the interior view segment. The interior is, as always, one single tone color, but notably, there's only 2 seats in this car's interior. Well, the Lamborghini Miura is indeed a 2-seater, so there's a lack of rear bench inside of the model. But something worthwhile noticing is if you look at this shot right here, there's the shifter, and on the right of the shifter, we can see what looks like a grab handlebar. So on the side, that curving little detail there is, I suppose, a grab handle for the passenger door for when the driver goes hard. The seats are very nice contoured bucket seats. So as you can see, there's decent bolster on the left and the right side, both on the base seat and also the backrest area. And the headrest also tells you that this is a very sports styled bucket seat. The dashboard also doesn't have a lot of detail. There are just some moldings for gauges, and the center console is also rather plain. Disappointingly, there's no rear view mirror on the center of the windscreen. That would have been a nice touch. And prying through the back, the bonnet area is also decidedly very plain. Moving on to the detailed look segment. Now, as you can see, the paint here is pretty normal. There isn't any metallic flake or any wow factors like that. But with that being said, I do find that the two-tone generated by this gold accent, it contrasts rather well against the brilliant red, the bright red of the paint job. And on the front fascia, we also see some of these gold accents on the front bumper. There's none on the rear. So overall, this paint scheme suits the timeless design of the Lamborghini Miura rather well. And of course, gold rims. On the front end, we can see that there are headlight decals, and if we swing the model to the rear, there are also tail light decals. But back to the front fascia, we can see that there is actually a very nice touch in the form of a Lamborghini logo in the front of the hood. And if we shift our attention to the back end, we can see that there are 2 black decals here to represent the hood grills. The hood grills that are present on the actual car model. So it's represented by these two decals, and there is a line here that splits the middle of the hood. On the side profile, we see that there is actually a bit of logo on the side. So on the left side and on the right side, there is the same logo. I couldn't quite make out what the logo says. And when we zoom in, it's a bit blurry, so I'm not quite sure what this logo represents. Moving on to the rear of the model, as you can see, there is a nice bit of decal here for the Lamborghini nameplate. There's Miura and SV on the right hand side. And on the license plate holder, there's also a decal to show you that this is indeed the P400 SV, the Miura P400 SV. A nice bit of detail here would be these honeycomb patterns on the left and right side of the license plate. So it's a very, very good looking touch, although it is colored in the same body color, the red. So it would have been better if there's black decals here to actually provide a bit of contrast. Otherwise, the rear is just one color. And of course, there are exhaust tip details on the rear. Unfortunately, the exhaust tip are not connected to anything. So there's just a bit of detail here that merges into the rivet that holds the entire model together, and that's pretty much about it. The underbody of this model is unremarkable. There's no detail at all, short for the descriptions of the model, the Made in Malaysia tag, the Hot Wheels logo, etc. There's no detail that represents, the suspension or the engine out at the back. This is one bit that I find quite fascinating. The grille designed rear windscreen. This is a very, very nice touch indeed. It just, it's period correct. It's very it accentuates the rear end by quite a bit. Speaking of accentuating the model, the front wheel arches has got some very, very beautiful lines that curve into the hood. And on the rear wheel arches, we find more of that curve, that timeless curve that is on the actual Lamborghini Miura design itself. This is a very, very beautiful model. It's accurate and it stays true to the silhouette of the silhouette of the Lamborghini Miura. And if you are familiar with the Lamborghini Miura, or you've seen YouTube videos or pictures of the Miura, you will know that the door bit actually extends to the roof of the vehicle, and this is very, very beautifully captured by the model as well in the form of this bit of detail right here. And of course, there is one on the left hand side of the model as well. All in all, I must say this is a very, very beautiful model. It captures a lot of the curves that are present on the actual Lamborghini Miura. For instance, I think this is the view that accentuates all the curves very, very rather well. The curves on the front hood, and of course the curves on the rear fender, it's very, very beautifully captured. It's very proportionate. It looks really, really good in my opinion. And if we swing it to the back, look at how wide the tires are. I mean, can you imagine the tires being this wide? I'm not sure if the tires are exactly this wide on the actual car, but this is some very, very wide rubbers. Look at it from the bottom view. Look at how much wider the rear tires are compared to the front. It's almost twice as wide, compared to the front tire. It's just ridiculous the way it's so wide. But I guess that does add on to the stance of the model. It makes it look so much more aggressive. Probably a bit too aggressive. The side profile of this Miura is also one of my favorite. It just really captures the flowing curves rather well. And I must commend the Hot Wheels design team for not going too wild on the ducktail spoiler at the rear. A very aggressive ducktail spoiler at the rear would, in my opinion, disrupt the entire curves on this particular model. You might think that the model is a bit simple with its lack of decals, especially on the side or on the front, but that's the beauty of a Lamborghini Miura. It doesn't need anything extra. The curves on the car body itself are just so breathtaking. It does not actually need anything else. And it's certainly a nice touch that they have all these details on the rear, and that's really all that it needs with this beautiful gold and red two-tone. It's just stunning to look at. As you can see, I don't let my son play with this one. I want to keep this in this pristine red paint job. It's too much of a shame if my son actually chips the paint off, because this is a very, very beautiful model. It's a very, very it's something rather special. In any case, this has been Sky from HWF. And until we meet again, bye bye for now.